Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora.
And Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
What's up, Delora? New week, new recap.
Yes, and drama, apparently.
A little bit of drama. As we teased at the end of our last episode, we are diving into the 2026 film, The Drama. Came out this year. We talked about the run that Zendaya and Robert Pattinson are on. And this was kind of the start, the kickoff for the year. So we did a microdose of this when we got a chance to go see it in theaters earlier this year. And now it is available to stream on Hulu. So be sure to check it out. Give you guys a quick summary. A happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. Cast, as I mentioned, Zendaya as Emma, Robert Pattinson as Charlie, Alana Hamm as Rachel, and Mamadou Athie as Mike. Ratings: Rotten Tomatoes, 77% critic score, 78% audience score. Delora, what is your grade for The Drama?
For The Drama, you know, I I believe this movie was the first movie I saw in theaters this year because I had to go. I had to be there, because I knew there
Mm-hmm.
was um a secret that I didn't want to get spoiled. So I saw it opening weekend with Dave. And
We saw it together, you and I.
wait, did I?
Yes.
We saw several movies this year together. We saw this one, The Devil Wears Prada, but
Yep.
I swore I saw The Drama with David. I swore I did.
No, we went to the Regal.
Don't ask me for nothing right now because my brain. Anyway, it's a B for me. It was fine. It was very engaging. That's what I liked about it. It was well acted. It was very engaging. It took a turn that I did not expect. So I was like, how are we going to play this out? I do feel like it did fall short. Again, we talk about like when you cast a Black person in a role, you got to really flush it out in a way that I feel like um, real conversations would be had. And I don't know if we I didn't get all the answers I was looking for. And because of that, that's my grade for the movie.
All right. I give it a B minus. I was not sure what to expect going into this. I have said I love Zendaya. I don't know if I always love her projects. And I think this was another one for me that I was a little on the fence about. Am I really going to enjoy this? And then once we get in and the big secrets are revealed, and to your point, like the way it's handled felt very disparate from what my expectations would be of how that scenario should have been handled. And it definitely has something to do with her being a Black woman and being in this role and all of that. And I know she has purposefully gone after roles that have been more a white woman was considered to be the lead, and then she takes that on. So that's also why some of that nuance doesn't exist. But when we really get into it, post spoiler alert, and dive in, we can share our thoughts a bit more. For me, I think the acting was still obviously there. I had very big moments of rage in this film, but I think just like as a cohesive story, it was fine. I did not necessarily love the ending of it either, and I'm just as big on the ending as the like journey, because the ending is what like propels a movie to my list of like top movies of all time.
You gotta learn how to
Gotta
close it.
revisit.
Yeah.
Like I was literally just talking about The Prestige possibly my favorite Christopher Nolan film
Yes.
because of that epic
It's
ending. You know what I
so
mean? Like, if
good.
you have never seen The Prestige, I don't know
It's so
what y'all are doing.
funny. Really quick, one of my coworkers asked me if I'd seen The Prestige. I'm like, of course I've seen The Prestige. And he was like, so many people have it. And I realized, you know, uh, a lot of my coworkers are younger now. And I'm
Yeah,
like Prestige was like automatic, yes. But I
saw it
forget
in
like
theaters.
some of my coworkers were probably not of age
Yeah, I
and they
mean,
would have
that's
to go back. Uh
2006, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
we're talking 20 years.
Babies. They were probably literally 6 years old.
Yeah. So, to all of our lovely listeners, if you have not
Yes,
watched Prestige, say all
please
that to
do.
say, it is absolutely going to be worth your time.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get into the spoiler alert and get into the good of this film. All right. So this is all about this couple, Charlie and Emma. And we start with Charlie reminiscing on his love for Emma, their meet cute, because he's working on his wedding vows. So the meet cute is in coffee shop or something like that. He approaches her. She's deaf in one ear. So unfortunately for him, it's a very awkward encounter and he thinks she's ignoring him. He ends up lying about reading the book that she's reading, all this and that. So what was your impression of their initial meet cute?
I sometimes I don't know. And I say this because it is his perspective, right? So um I think when it comes to their meet cute, and again, going from his perspective, I feel like maybe it's a typical dude's feeling like, oh, she's pretty, and then they talk about how much he just loves to have sex with her type of doll, and I'm just like, okay, okay, don't put that in your vows, sir. Like, you know what I mean? Um, but I think it was a typical meet cute when we talk about media TV. Like how many people we know probably lied about something when talking to somebody. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, fair.
I wouldn't do it just because like especially a book that she's actively reading because like if she calls you out, oh yeah, what was your favorite part? What are you going to say? Like
Well, because that's the whole point, right? If we're reading a book at the same time, like Dua Lipa and her husband,
yes,
the idea would be we're going to chat about it. We're going to have a little book
correct,
club sesh post.
correct.
So, to his best friend's point, why didn't you just read the book, bro? Like, after you said it, just go ahead and go to the library or do whatever you got to do, get that book.
Logic, right?
Uh, so yeah, I think too what was interesting about their meet cute was it almost felt predatory in a way to start. Like he was
Ooh,
very focused. And I think that's gonna help with some of my feelings I had at the end that I'm gonna speak to about why I thought there was gonna be a little bit of a twist that was not, but it would have been cool. Because he locked in on her immediately, right? Like he thinks she's attractive, what have you. He's about to make his move. But what I also thought was interesting about their meet cute was Emma's approach because this stranger comes up to you and is trying to get your attention. A lot of ladies would have just kind of let it lie and let it be that and be like, oh no, sorry, da da da. She was like, so you want to try again? Like, do you want to go ahead and give this another shot? And I enjoyed that like dynamic that kind of replays over their relationship of like she's always kind of the one to want to restart, like re-engage when something isn't going well. I think it's like one of her problem solving devices, it feels like. And I don't know, I just kind of liked it. I thought it was it kind of gave a yin to a yang feeling to me in a certain way. Like
yeah,
she helped make things less awkward for somebody who felt like they could essentially be super awkward as a
right,
person.
right.
So,
And then I think it's a great representation of like how much you build stuff up on in your head and how one sided it really can be.
yeah,
You
because
know
he
what
thought
I
everybody was like
mean?
staring at him, thinking he's some type of weirdo,
Exactly.
and
Nobody's thinking about
probably
you,
not.
boo. Yeah.
Exactly. We're the stars of our own shows. So,
Yeah.
um, we see additional flashbacks during this time of their first date, their first kiss. They're talking about what stories each are going to share in their vows so they have overlapping stories, all of that. And we see another first when Emma called Charlie her boyfriend for the first time. And the girl has a literal panic attack. She was so overcome with her feelings, apparently. Charlie is her first love. And we see her friend Rachel low-key try to shame her about that fact. I personally thought it was like really sweet, but also concerning. Like, girl, are you like a bottler? Like, do you bottle everything in that just you're overwhelmed with your feelings for your man and have a panic attack at work?
Yeah. If anything, for me, watching that made me feel like, am I going to be able to relate to her? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't understand this thought process. Like, it just felt extreme.
Yeah, it felt like somebody who, um, again, either maybe represses a lot. So then when they do feel something, it's super overwhelming. But also like, late bloomer a bit that, Emma is
Yes.
well into her
Yes.
late 20s, early 30s. And,
Right.
she's really experiencing a lot of these things, the butterflies, all this stuff that a lot of us experience when we're like teenagers. Um, a little bit older. So it was interesting. And then we have more wedding to dos with dance lessons, food and wine tastings. They find out their DJ smokes heroin, which is crazy. But I guess
It's
that was so
giving
random.
California sober, like the way they were like, oh yeah, it's just
Little
little no,
heron,
no, it's heroin. Like
little
it's
heron
no, it's
on the
not. It's
street. It ain't like she was discreet.
on
She's on the street.
the
Where are the
streets.
police?
Weren't they in a well-to-do neighborhood? So it's
I
not.
don't even know. Their apartment was nice. So
It
I'm imagining
was
they were not in the slums anywhere.
well. That's what I'm saying. It's not like they were in a heavy police state.
Yeah. Interesting. So over the food and wine tastings, they launch into a full combo with the best man and maid or matron rather of honor on what's the worst thing you've ever done. So let's break this scene down, shall
Ooh,
we?
child.
Best man Mike, his ex from college was attacked by a dog on a trip to Mexico, and instead of helping, he used her as a human shield. Matron of honor Rachel, she locked a seemingly mentally disabled kid who was her neighbor in a closet to be left alone overnight in an abandoned RV in the forest, did not tell his family about it when they asked him where he was. Charlie cyberbullied a kid at 14, and the kid and his family eventually moved away. And finally, the big reveal, the big secret, the big thing. Emma almost did a mass shooting at her school at the age of 15. She had her dad's rifle, brought it with her, and that's actually why she's deaf in her one ear. She held the rifle too close. These were sequentially worse and worse revelations, essentially, that we were experiencing as an audience, but everyone's shock and disgust and like disbelief at Emma's revelation, particularly Rachel, whose cousin, she brought up her cousin, who no one's ever heard of this cousin, is in a wheelchair as a result of gun violence, was so appalling when we saw this in theaters. I was immediately defensive of Emma because not to say that what you did obviously was not disturbing, but my first thought, especially if I'm your friend, I'm your fiance, I'm whatever, is concern and understanding, not concern and I'm yelling at you and I can't believe you and we got to get out of here. Delora, what were your thoughts?
So many. I think one of the most insightful takes that I heard about was like, for each person's story, it represents how they handle a situation, right? Like
Mike's a
running
bitch.
away or avoidance, or you know what I mean? The antagonizing situation of it all. All the things were really, really bad, but the way they harbored on Emma's, to me, was unfair because out of all three, she didn't do it.
Exactly.
And honestly, the friend who again made it all about her, Rachel, I have to say her and Charlie's were the worst. I mean, Mike was a coward, and honestly, that wasn't far fetched because he continues to be a coward, throughout the
I'm gonna go one
story.
step further. He a little bitch.
But to attack someone, the Bible talks about the least of these, to your young neighbor with a disability, to lock him up. And when someone blatantly asks you where this young man is, you don't say a word. That is violence on a like is that a psychopathic level? Like I always have a hard time differentiating like psychopath versus like
Sociopath.
sociopath, right?
Yeah. It's also crazy because the only reason why Charlie and Rachel were able to downplay theirs was to your point because things were okay in the end. That boy was found. The kid who was cyberbullied moved away. If it had been that the kid he bullied committed suicide, different conversation. If it had been that the young man that she locked in that closet somehow was murdered or died of
Or
suffocation
harmed
or
severely.
kidnapped, different conversation. They just so happened to be in situations where things, thankfully for them, worked out. But it was also so disturbing to see that just the story before, when Charlie mentioned, and he's so nonchalant and chuckling, and oh, there, see, I did something. Oh, you were only 14. Your brain wasn't even fully developed. Emma, 15, 1 year older, and suddenly she's a monster.
Also, no one took the time to just really understand her. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And that's the part
Exactly.
where, again, awful, awful things. But again, this is a supposed safe space, right? And if you're going to be honest with, again, the man you're going to be spending the rest of your life with, your lifelong best friends, you would hope that there's a level of empathy that they would show to you, and that was completely lacking across the board.
I cared a little bit less about Mike and Rachel's reaction to your point inevitably than I did about Charlie's because even Rachel and Mike and Emma and Charlie were all drinking and so Emma drank too much, ends up throwing up everywhere. They go home. Charlie keeps trying to talk to her about it and it just feels like he's either trying to come up with BS excuses for why she did this or he's not understanding or taking seriously what she's saying that she went through. And this again is where we talk about like the racial aspects of things. First of all, being black people, we
Yes.
understand what are the chances that a black woman is a school shooter?
That is what I am saying. That was like one of our biggest points of conversation. It's like
Low.
I
Low, low,
need
low, low,
for
low, low, low.
it's already low. So you
Low, low,
like
low, low,
the
low.
least y'all could have done is asked her what the fuck was happening to make you feel like
Girl, what could you possibly have been going through? Where were your parents, baby?
right. Were you bullied?
And she
Were
spoke.
they physically harming you?
She spoke about being bullied, and Charlie was like, "That's it? You know what? Right here is a pivotal time, my lovely black people, as to why you need to remember to also surround yourself with people who look like you, who have
Mike
shared
was useless though. I'm
experiences."
sorry.
You hear my second part, shared experiences. Mike ain't it in
Black
any
women
version.
always need some black girlfriends.
Because I was just devastated by, again, this reaction and the fact that this is the week of their wedding, guys. The week of. This should be a happy time. All this stuff they're doing, going to picking out flowers, all this stuff should be fun. And she has anxiety. She's wondering if Charlie still even wants to marry her. He's questioning, like, he deleted parts of his vows now, as if he doesn't recognize who she is anymore. We see flashbacks of her during her teenage years, right? She mentioned she was intrigued by the aesthetics of school shootings at the time. There were so many going on, and that she ultimately didn't go through with it because there was another shooting at a local mall that took the life of one of her classmates. And she ended up joining an anti gun violence group instead and tosses her dad's rifle. And Charlie's response was, "Did you not feel like, a fraud?" And she was like, "No, it felt like waking up from a bad dream, essentially." So again, this disparity between her experience and his understanding was so large. I was like, girl, I don't
Yeah.
think you should go through with marrying this man.
I
Honestly.
know, I know. And like I think it's also very important to realize like, you know, back to what we were saying before, it's the simple benefit of the doubt of it all. She didn't actually do it, y'all. She
Did
didn't. She
not do
told
it,
you
baby.
what she thought about. Is it horrific? Absolutely. Um, but again, I think it is worth taking the time as family and friends to better understand like, hey, what made you, because to me you want to get an understanding, because like yes, she was young, she was a teenager, hormonal, like who knows what was going on, because there's been things that I look back when I was young, I'm like, oh, I can't believe it's so true, my frontal lobe was not developed. Like, you know what I mean? But to me it's important to have that level of context so that if something were to happen again, you'll know the signs, or you'll be able to see something that could potentially help you in the future.
For sure. And then also, have you ever seen any of this in her character?
Right.
When have you
Sense.
seen
And
anything
it's
that would make you think this is the like she is the result, or like who she really is the worst potential decision she was about to ever make?
it's so funny that you say that, because I think it ultimately comes down to, do you feel like people can be rehabilitated or not? Meaning, do you think people can change?
Especially when you're 15 and you did not actually commit a violent crime. So Charlie starts spiraling at the wedding photo run
Heavy.
through, at the flower picking. He's envisioning her younger self. I actually really did not like those scenes, by the way. I thought it was very weird to pair him with that teenage actress version of her. It was creepy, actually.
I agree.
He starts thinking about any moment where she was ever angry, ever remotely violent, like slapping him during sex. I mean, come on, let's not kink shame, guys. He ends up seeming fearful that she was going to hurt him when she was cutting up stuff for a smoothie and brought the knife in the room. Delora, it gets to the point he can't even get it up to perform sexually.
This is again where I feel like the racial aspect comes into play, because it's like, oh my goodness, I'm scared of the black woman. I'm scared what she might do next. We can't get her angry.
And to be fair, who showed more aggression throughout this film? Rachel or Emma? Let's be for real. Rachel will cut you. That's the
Rachel
impression I got.
was the true villain of the movie. Because, like,
Absolutely.
who needs friends like her?
She wasn't never her friend. That's the moral of that story. She wasn't never her friend, right? Because Emma gets a call from Rachel like 10 p.m. after her latest reset with Charlie fails, right? He ain't going for it. No longer planning to attend the wedding. She is the matron of honor. I hated Rachel's guts. Charlie goes and tries to reason with her. He comes up with the excuse that, oh, childhood friend of hers died in front of her in a car crash, which Emma already said did not happen in that way. Another thought I had, Delora, was where are Emma's friends and family? Because I don't want to be cool with your best friend's wife no more. Throw them in the trash.
That was my question of like, maybe Emma didn't have a large, you know, group of friends. To me, that tracks of a person who, again, was very insular in high school and having these crazy ideas. It makes sense that she could have just spent a lot of time alone, right? But again, the family. But then at the same time, her family was missing and busy too, right? So maybe she doesn't have that close familial presence there.
I needed y'all to do better for my girl Zendaya in this film because Mike is spineless and this was just not a good situation.
No.
Literally, as they're about to leave, because they came to Rachel's job to try to talk to her, she scheduled a lunch with that cousin who's in a wheelchair to discuss this with her and her attending the wedding. Her little words were she doesn't want to betray her. Delora,
This is where I'm like, when keeping it real goes wrong.
give Alana
That
an award for this portrayal because this is the archetype of the scariest version of a white woman that I can imagine. My God.
Oh my gosh. Because, like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing here?
I bet she's a liberal too. God bless us all.
Would have
Um,
voted for Obama for a third term.
yep, one of those. Absolutely. Charlie ends up almost having sex with his coworker Misha after losing his shit when she gave her thoughts on the hypothetical of her partner planning a school shooting. I had in my notes, this is his absolute rock bottom in the film.
To me, this is where I'm like, well, you almost fucked her. How do you expect Emma to react to this? You want her to forgive you?
He
You
wasn't
want
gonna
her
tell her.
to, but to me, if I were Emma, I wouldn't want to be with a man like that because the way that to me, I feel like I know the whole premise of the movie is like, what if you find out this crazy secret like right before
Hmm.
your wedding? What would you do? But I feel like a lot of this what he was going through was self-inflicted also. I really do.
I think he has like undiagnosed either severe OCD or something. Like he was literally mentally spiraling in a way
Yes.
that was absolutely unhealthy. And also, she said something. She was like, you like you fixate. And so I think there's so much nuance that's lost and not explored enough. Like, of course, Misha, if she found out that her male partner was essentially a school shooter, had some different concerns. You know what I mean? Than you would with the revelation that your girlfriend, who was a teenager, has some thoughts and then did not go through with it. Again, it would be
Because
a
it's like
bigger bomb if this had transpired and she had gotten away with it, then yeah, call this shit off and call the police.
that and it's like she's never showed any um violent tendencies if y'all got in a fight or whatever. So it's like if you find her to be a non-violent person, I think she's a non-violent person. Like, you know what I mean? Like y'all been together long enough to have that clarity.
And this also makes me think about the idea that everyone's entitled to their secrets. I don't think you have to be 100% transparent with people about everything as long as it doesn't harm them in any way. Because Emma could have taken this to her deathbed and who would be the wiser and what would it have hurt? Um, so it's unfortunate that she could not trust her life partner with the biggest secret that she has been carrying. You know what I mean? Like, I guess she could have talked to a therapist, but not her man about this situation and gotten more empathy.
Well, you know what people say, right? Like you can't expect everything from a life partner, right?
Sure, but
Uh
I do expect you to
hide a buried body, like hide the body if I need it.
but not even that. It's like I do expect for you to be able to stand the rain a little bit better than this.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't, you gonna spiral over every fucking thing in this marriage in the future, potentially. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle that. What happens when we have kids? What happens? How are you gonna judge them for the choices that they make?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, girl,
Yeah.
unfortunately, or unfortunately, depending on who you ask, the wedding goes on. At the
It wasn't a
reception,
joyous day. It wasn't like a beautiful
too much
day.
going on. Too much has happened.
I agree.
At the reception, the drama continues. Rachel gives an absolutely atrocious speech. I wish Emma had cousins who could have taken her to the back. Because you're
Girl,
not going to sit up here and embarrass me like this.
somebody should have cut that chick off.
Wasn't Mike. Wasn't Mike. Emma also finds out about the incident with Misha. So does her boyfriend Blake. Headbutts Charlie at the reception. Justified?
Yeah. Now, was it the ideal place? Of course not. But there are consequences and repercussions.
Woo. And this is also why she would have reported him if he had told her he was almost close to it. She already knows. I have my notes. Emma looked beautiful at least. I thought that dress fit Zendaya so well. She
It
looked
was
beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah, it had like a simple simplicity that I thought was lovely.
Gorgeous.
I would love for her to share her dress with us one of
This
these
may be the
days.
closest we get for a
Please,
long time.
please, and thank you. Because Law was like, all that stuff online was fake. Because people had like the fake
The
AI
AI.
wedding,
Yeah.
and he was like, no, the real one was better. And I'm like, I know it was. I know it was. You
Fully
know
believe
what?
it.
So, their iconic run this year has been just again legendary. Cannot wait to see what they do for Dune. Although I don't know how you're gonna top uh the Mugler from
Yeah.
several years ago.
That's still Law's
But
favorite red carpet look of all time. And I
yes,
said, I agree.
I agree because
Epic.
who's doing it? Who's doing it? Um,
In fact, she could fit it.
girl. But I say all this to say they better publish a lookbook. And in that lookbook, I would like a never before seen
Hmm.
picture. It doesn't even have to be a clear picture. It could be like one of those like unfocused, blurry, whatever. I'd be like, Z and T's wedding day 2026. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
put it in the universe, Delora. Put it in the
I think
universe.
I would buy it. I would buy
You
it.
will buy it regardless. you Let's be for real. You will have this book regardless.
I know. I know, but yeah. Please look book, please and thank you. I mean, Riri got one. Riri got a table book of her legendary like pictures and photo shoots and stuff like that.
I
So
feel like anybody who does the CFDA award win is going to do something with a lookbook at some point. But anyway, following this shit show of a reception and everything, Charlie goes to their favorite diner and Emma comes in. And this is the point where I want to reference back to the beginning of the film. So I thought, Laura, when she walked past him, I was like, this was all in his head. He does not actually know this woman. He never actually talked to her. He has been like in the periphery, living around her. And he's reached a point of like stalker level 10, where now he's, in the flesh again with her X, Y, and Z. That's what I really, and I was like, damn, that would have been a hell of a twist. Not meant to be. She comes and joins him and attempts to do another reset. And they leave the resolution a bit ambiguous. So, what do you think happens at the diner and post? Do you think that they made it work? Do you think they're going to move past this and stay together? Where are we going?
all right. So yeah, it's definitely giving Sopranos fade into black. Um moment. You know what I mean? What I will say is I assume that they agreed to start anew and to be together and live happily ever after. Like, I think they decided we're not going to bring this up ever again. We might need to cut Rachel and Mike out of our lives.
At least Rachel, like, might get a
At
divorce.
bare minimum. But I'm going to overlook your recent infidelity if you look over something that I did 20 years ago. No, obviously it wasn't 20 years ago, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Like,
These are not apples to apples. And are you still working with Misha or are we finding another job? Because that woman
that's
was
what
about to take it in the
she
office.
was. She was ready. She
She
was
was
ready.
ready. She is someone who
Uh,
makes bad decisions,
she
for
was
sure.
like, "Oh, we about to do this? Bet."
She makes bad decisions. She is a Carrie. Remember how we were recently talking about Sex and the City characters again? She's a Carrie.
Yeah,
Sorry,
because I
Carrie.
mean,
Love
she has
you,
all the
but
stories.
yeah.
Um, but it's so funny that you say that because what I will say overall is this: it's like I didn't want to do the heavy lifting of figuring out what they were going to do at the end of the story. I needed you to tell me how this was going to end.
Yep. Very indie film. Very indie
Yes,
film. Can't have everything tied up neatly in a bow. Whatever. I agree. I think they're gonna try to make it work. Do I think they should? I think Emma should move on, but she's already married this man. So I give y'all 5 years and let's revisit. Let's revisit.
5 years.
Yeah, let's revisit. Cause maybe she just needs, again, this is her, she's marrying her first love. So maybe she
That's
needs to
true.
get this out of her system and explore other
He's going to be
opportunities.
someone she used to know.
Yeah, this is her first husband. Let's put it like that. This is her first husband, you know? Get it out the way. Get it under your
Where's
belt.
Tom when you need him?
No, for real. And you know what's funny is I said, this is someone who is actually taller than her, right? So we get to see Zendaya like be her full height and all these things. But then as I was watching the movie, I was like, but you ain't got nothing on Tom, no, baby. Like
Not a thing.
you ain't got nothing on my guy, Tom. Sorry. So yeah, yeah, that was the wrap of the drama, Delora. Any final thoughts? And do you want to give an MVP ruling for this film?
Oh. My
Tough.
final thoughts, again, it was fun to see Rob in a different role. Like, he's really racking up um these diverse roles to show his range, you know what
Yep.
I mean?
Twilight and
And
Edward Cullen, who? Okay.
that is what I'm saying, to the point where it's about to be a distant memory, right? Of like his origin. And yeah, he's a very talented actor. So again, I was glad to see him in this role. To your point with Zendaya and her roles, I kind of understand and agree, because like I think she's always wanted to do something different, something, you know, not so cookie color, but in some ways it kind of makes sense because she was a Disney kid, and that is the epitome of cookie cutter, right? Like, happy endings and everything is perfect. So her choices are very like gritty and very thought provoking, and sometimes they don't always make sense, and I think at this point that's on purpose. A la Malcolm and Marie.
Ugh, Jesus.
That was rough. um MVP, I'm gonna give it to Emma needs better friends.
Absolutely. You know
She
who?
also need a better lover, because like again,
Absolutely. She just got the short end of the stick. She
yeah,
got in every aspect. Because when her dad gave that toast, I was like, where were you? Where were you,
seriously.
black man, when I needed you? Do y'all
That
know
part,
what your child went through?
listen,
Her mama just sitting there barely speaking. Where were you? Who are y'all that y'all were not there for your only child? But I digress. Another MVP for me in this film, small role, the dance instructor. You know why?
Why?
Because y'all not gonna come to my dance studio where I have prepped this performance and come in here and talk about we should just do something else. Let's not even worry about the choreo. Let's do something. Don't play with me. You gonna respect the work that I put into this choreography or get
Period.
the hell out of my studio.
Woo! Strong words.
So she was asleep. Cause for real, like Emma, that was the first time I was like, Emma, you need to chill. Like this woman has put in effort to help y'all. Show that lady some respect. You know what I mean? So sleeper little MVP just because I thought, good for you that you're not gonna let your clients run over you like this. My final thoughts to both of our point. Zendaya has the big box office productions, the Dunes, the Spider-Mans, but the challengers of the world, the Malcolm memories, the dramas, definitely you got the grittiness. You had Euphoria, which was a mind fuck of a show. You definitely know she loves a character that has grit, that she's able to sink her teeth into. But Zendaya, ain't nothing wrong with giving me some joy. Ain't nothing wrong.
Oh, are we asking for like a Christmas movie or something?
Give me a You, Me, and
Rom
Tuscany.
com.
Give me, girl,
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
me joy.
Yeah.
Give me laughter. Give me a sci-fi thriller. Just
Well,
don't
that's
keep giving me
Dune.
in the vein of like the space that she's in. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
I
the
know.
biggest
I know.
epic of a blockbuster.
But you have to, this is a Hollywood game. She's about to be 30 in September, and she and Tom are probably going to slow down just a little bit. And then before you know it, she'll be like the Carrie Underwoods doing all the Netflix movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a
I would
window
be
for the
shocked and
blockbuster.
appalled.
I'm joking. And don't
Okay,
get
I
me
didn't know
wrong,
if you
we
were like,
no, no,
I
and
was
I don't
like,
want to begrudge Carrie because honestly, with Carrie, I respect her career so much. We love her. She's friend of the pod, um, because she frankly has to make her roles because she's a black woman over a certain age, like the Nicole Kidmans and the Reese Witherspoons of the world. Like they talk about that. I just think they are literally squeezing all the juice out of this phase of their career because Hollywood is weird.
and I think that's great. I love the ladies, the Kerry Washingtons, the Reese Witherspoons, even the Jessica Biels who start their
Yeah.
own production houses, create the projects that they're excited about. I just mean like Zendaya is a superstar to a level that most actors and actresses, especially of her generation, don't
Or
see
not.
anymore.
No, that's
Like
true.
she is a movie star.
She is.
So is her husband.
Correct.
So I just that's why I said like I can't imagine like not to say anything is beneath anybody because it's not, but she's on
No.
such a trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. But I say all that to say, to your point, yes, Dune is a sci-fi thriller, but I just want
I was teasing, but yeah, I
I
understand where
want
you're going
her
to.
range outside of the big box office blockbusters to be more pleasant in whatever shape or form that can take. Just give me one or two in the catalog. That's all I'm asking. Like there's
You
no
want her to
movie
do a
of hers.
comedy.
There's no movie of hers right now that I'm like racing to go see a second time. And I love Zendaya. I will never rewatch Euphoria, but I
No.
love Zendaya. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, that's real.
I want something in the catalog that's like a classic that I want to rewatch for
It's
years to
giving
come.
Christmas. Like we need a classic Christmas movie from her then.
Yeah, like be like
The
I would rather
holiday.
rewatch the video of them singing Dreamgirls
Oh yeah, that was
than
great.
rewatch any movie of hers over again.
Because they're also 3 hours long.
Yes, they're 3 hours long. They don't bring me joy. Bring me some joy. Join with Amber and some of them and bring me some joy. That's all I ask. But I love you
She needs
down.
to do a black classic.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
a black ensemble. Okay.
Please.
And thank you. Okay.
Please.
Like in the vein of like best man, but something else, right? Like that level,
Who
that
did she say
caliber.
recently that she can't wait to work with? Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler. But I mean, he ain't making no
Maybe
joyful.
the next one. Maybe the next one.
We love everything he does. Don't get me wrong. We will watch it.
Because I was gonna
But
say, if she had been in Black Panther, easy,
oh, that is right. Wakanda forever. Yes.
easy, easy. So that's my request. That's my request for the universe today. Give me a
Okay.
Zendaya project that I can watch over and over for many, many years to come. Anyway, that's it. That's all, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Let us know your thoughts about the drama. It is time for Hidden Gems. Delora, what you got?
All right, Ashley. I have one hidden gem today, and it is my new personality. Um, obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm on this, Asian media exploration. Um, and I have watched an anime that I adore, and it is called the Apothecary Diaries. It's pretty new. It's like newer. It first premiered October 2023. It's available season one on Netflix. Season two is only available on Crunchyroll. Um, and your girl had to sign up for it because I needed it. But we're talking about season one. That is what I completed. 24 episodes in 3 days.
Sheesh. Is that a record for you?
No, honestly, it would have been faster if life didn't have to get in the way. But here's the summary. Trained from an early age by her apothecary father, Mao Mao is sold as a servant to the emperor's palace. Mao Mao now puts her knowledge at the service of the people of the palace, not only to treat them, but also to foil mysteries and conspiracies. So essentially, each episode is it's a procedural. Like each episode is like a new mystery, a new medical. It's like a mixture of like medical mystery, political intrigue, and it's all done in the rear palace of this Chinese emperor. And the rear palace in this world is where all the concubines and their handmaidens live. And so you have like the power dynamics between the top four concubines and people are always trying to poison each other, and the goal is to have the baby, have the heir, and of course be that girl, right? But for whatever reason, these babies aren't living. They're not surviving past infancy, and Mao Mao is there. She's young girl herself, so she's a bit of a prodigy. And her, along with Jinshi, who is the handsome monk, or I'm sorry, not monk, eunuch, they solve mysteries together. And of course, there's a small romance plot, which is so cute. But again, the other thing about this show that also cracks me up is because she is really into apothecary stuff, she also poisons herself so that when she's a taster, um, she's not gonna die. Like what do they call it when people like take low doses of poison to like help
Like microdosing?
Yeah, literally microdosing to help build their immunity to it type of deal. And it's funny, it's cute, and I've had a time watching it. We're currently on season 2, episode 10. So that's my hidden gem, y'all.
All right. Mine is a YA series available to stream season one on Prime, Sterling Point. Probably heard about it if you've been on these internets a bit. It is getting quite a bit of chatter. And I have to say, no shade to Heated Rivalry, Off Campus, all of these YA adaptations that have been dropping this year. This is probably my favorite.
I'm hearing a lot of that. I started it, um, and I've enjoyed it so far. I will say this: you couldn't tell me that girl wasn't 35 years old when I first started watching that show.
Yeah, I mean, she was the daughter of Anne Hathaway in The Idea of You, and I think she
That
felt
is
older
her.
in that project as well. But I will say that she, along with the rest of this cast, really won me over. It's so much to be said for I think why this works. I think the cast is great. I think the story is so solid and it feels like they took their time with telling this story. It felt like they had breath within each episode and it felt very grounded as like the characters were able to develop because essentially the premise is like family drama, right? Where these kids are discovering that they had a grandfather who kind of was being kept away from them, and this grandfather has passed, and he left them an island that their mother used to live at and frequent. And when the main character, played by Ella, named Annie, goes there, she discovers even more about like long lost family secrets, right? So it's very grounded in that story. But then there's also like teen love and all these other things that are incorporated, and then of course always there's the idyllic scenery of these beautiful locations that they shoot at. But I just think like the pacing, the actors, I really, something about this series was really moving to me in a way that the others are not. I think the others are much more like hot romance, that's the main core of it. And this had a lot more to do with like family and like the
Mystery.
love of family and all of that. And so, yeah, I have to say, I think Sterling Point is probably my favorite YA series so far this year. So I highly recommend it.
I wouldn't call Heated Rivalry. Like,
You wouldn't call it YA, you said?
no, 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 no. I'm
Okay.
teasing though. I'm teasing. That's why I'm saying it. Um, but yeah, these people are super young, like 17, right? Like the twins are
The
17.
oldest twins are 18. They turn 18 in the
They turn
series.
18 in the series. Okay.
So yeah, it's very
Um,
much the teens.
someone said this online and I can't unsee it. They were like, Prime has officially become the CW.
Yep, I saw that as
And
well.
I agree. And honestly, it's needed. Like we love these stories. Like where do they go?
It's very
You know?
smart. It's a market that obviously in book talk and all those places continues to thrive. So why would you not tap into that market, big time with all these adaptations that are coming out? I feel like it's good for some of the streamers who don't have as big of a foothold as the Netflixes of the world too, to like have niches that
Yes.
and you expect and you can gravitate towards. Like even for me now, I realize with Apple, like I said, I think Apple has the best production of any streamers in terms of series they come out with. It's very cinematic. Everything for the most part they come out with feels like a long form film. It's beautiful. It's beautifully shot. You have these superstar actors who are in these projects, but they also don't promote. Like they're not out here needing to do a bunch to get people to watch their content. So they feel like they're more like prestige streaming. And now Prime is YA. They're really leaning into that heavy. So yeah, think it's awesome. So I would recommend Sterling Point if you're just looking for some like good comfort watch to sink your teeth into. That's it. That's all. Guys, thank you so much for sticking with us for another episode of Recapping with Delora and Ashley. We appreciate you. Please share this out with everybody you know. We will be back with more in headlines and hot topics. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.